The views and opinions expressed on the following program may not necessarily reflect the views of the staff, management, or board of Hope Media Group and KSBJ. It's what's happening around us, in our town, suburb, city, in our community. It's Community Beat with Kim Kasi McKee on 89.3 KSBJ.
Well, hello and welcome to Community Beat, where we're keeping you tuned in to the topics that are impacting our local communities and helping them thrive. I'm your host, Kim Kasi McKee, and today we'll be talking about a time-honored tradition in our city known as Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo that's coming up February 27th through March 27th, and you don't want to miss it. So joining me today is Chris Boleman with Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Welcome, Chris, and thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Hey, thank you, Kim. It's great to be with you.
Chris, we love this time of year when we get to experience several weeks of food, fun, festivities with our families and friends during Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. Chris, is this literally the biggest rodeo on earth?
It is the biggest rodeo, and we like to think it's the best rodeo on earth, for sure. But yes, it's definitely the biggest, that's for sure.
Wow. So, Chris, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you are affiliated. How are you serving with Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo?
Yes, I'm the president and CEO of the rodeo. I've been in this job since this will be 4 years.
Wow.
I came to the show 7 years ago. I was the executive director of the Ag Exhibits Department. And so, I actually grew up showing here. I grew up in Brazos County. And so I grew up bringing steers and barrows, hogs to this show. And it's always had a special place in my family's heart. And so, a few years ago, I got an opportunity to come on board on the staff side. So we have 140 full-time staff.
Wow.
That manage. We work here year-round. And of course, we work closely with our 35,000 volunteers on 109 committees. And so it's my job to head up the staff side and serve in this, just blessed role for sure.
Wow. Let me just take that in for a moment. 35,000 volunteers and 109 committees.
109 committees. That's exactly right. All types of committees. As you very familiar with, Kim, we've got fundraising committees, we've got working committees, we've got committees that do a combination of both, and they too work year round to get ready. I know we were talking earlier. We've already planning. I've already got my 2025 folder over here sitting next to me, but we're getting ready right now, obviously, for 2024.
Wow, so amazing. So for those, of course, we have literally thousands of people moving into our city every day. What would you say? Tell us a little bit about the history of rodeo in the city of Houston and how has it grown?
Sure. This is our 92nd show.
Wow.
And we've been through a lot, as you know. And
Yes.
so we started as just a livestock show back in the day, about 5 cattle breeders right outside of the city came together and said, we look at these other cities that have big livestock markets. They all have a livestock show. They were talking about Fort Worth and Denver and some of those types of shows, and Kansas City and Chicago. We need one here in Houston. So that's where it started. And then over time, it just kind of started growing. We added a carnival piece and we added a rodeo to it, and it just kind of started to grow and grow and grow. And then 58 years ago, believe it or not,
Wow.
We moved from the Coliseum down here to NRG Park, where we are now. And back in the day, there was, of course, the Astrodome we utilized for our rodeo and concert, but we also had the Astro Hall, and we built the Astro Arena, which is where our horse show is now. Now it's known as NRG Arena. The Astro Hall is gone. Now we have NRG Center. And so it has just progressively grown from 5 days to 7 days to 12. Now here we are at 20 full days of livestock show and rodeo, not to mention the barbecue, of course. That's the weekend before the World Championship Barbecue presented by Cotton. So lots of, just over time, as the city has grown, so has the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. And so now we'll welcome approximately 2.4 million guests. And you're right, a lot of them this will be their first time. That's a question we ask him. We ask on our surveys if this is the first time you've been here, because so many new people do come to the show each year. And so I always get asked, what would you tell the folks that are coming for the first time? The response is come early. Get out here early. And see the whole grounds, experience it all. We've got livestock show, we got shopping, we got all types of food. We got Ag Venture presented by Oxy that teaches kids about the importance of agriculture. We've got the carnival, and then of course each night we have a rodeo. And then, of course, we have a concert. And then even afterwards, you can go lots of different places around the grounds and just enjoy yourself.
Wow, that's one thing that is so amazing, how there literally is something for everyone. So you literally can take the whole family and just enjoy any number of things. One of the things I'd like for you to hit on, Chris, is the fact that the rodeo gives back to the community, even beyond the activities and all of that. Tell us a little bit about some of your community involvement as it relates to scholarships for children and all of that.
Yeah, it's an amazing place, and that's at the end of the day, what I always tell people is the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo is an event for the community. It's a nonprofit organization, and so as a result, we do give back to the community. And everyone around here will tell you we do this for the young people. This year, we are proud to announce that we have surpassed, with this year's giving after the show, we'll surpass $600 million in giving to the youth of Texas. That's to our exhibitors that come from all over the state to show their livestock. That's for our scholarships, some grants as well, and then of course some graduate assistantships. This year's the amount's $27 million, and when you add that to the total since 1932, we're over $600 million, which is really the underlying kind of thing about what we do here. Why our 35,000 volunteers are so proud is because of the work that we do to support youth and education. And it's a story that we love telling, and it really is like no other place. That's for sure. We're very unique and blessed to be here and to be in this community for 20 days.
Wow. So what are some of the ways the community can support and does support you? What are some of the opportunities there for people to get involved with the rodeo?
Well, yeah, I like to say we create a small town and a big town with our volunteers. And so anytime you want, if you're really interested in getting engaged and being a part of a community activity, we ask you to sign up to be a volunteer. And so you can go to rodeohouston.com, click on Get Involved. And as I mentioned, the 109 different committees, they do all types of things. We have ticket takers, we have transportation folks, we have auctions that help raise dollars for the kids for scholarships and for the exhibitors. And so there's all types of different activities that you can find your interest and you can sign up. And so the committees, again, they meet year round, but at the same time, they obviously are more active as we lead into March. And boy, the thing I say about these committees is each one of them is kind of its own living organism. These folks work together. They're friends. They support each other. So it really does help make, as Houston, as we know, is so big, so diverse, fourth largest city in the country. But this helps make kind of a network for you. And so go in and sign up. And if you don't have time to volunteer because you're busy doing all other things, then what I tell people is you have to come to the show. And you need to come once each of the 3 weeks, because if you show up and wait to the very end, you're gonna miss it. You're gonna wish you would have come more often, because we're not coming back for another year. But there's plenty of ways to support. You can also donate to the show. Lots of different activities to support young people.
If you're just tuning in, we are speaking with Chris Boleman, who is the president and CEO of Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, the largest rodeo in the world. And we are so proud that it's Houston's own. So one of the things you mentioned, Chris, is that you will entertain 2.4 million guests throughout this 20-day experience. So for those who may be thinking, wow, how am I going to navigate through? Talk to us a little bit, because one thing that I can say year after year, it is a well-oiled machine. So it's very, very organized. And there are ways that if you follow some of the instructions about transportation and how to get where you need to go, it can be pretty seamless. Now, yes, good walking shoes. Absolutely. Or good boots. Yes. But can you make your way around? Yes, you can. So speak to us about that, Chris.
Yeah, well, the first thing I should say is a friend of mine taught me and tells people all the time, and it's a good thing to remind people, go get your boots, but go get them now because you've got a couple of more days to get them broke in before you wear them out here because you're right. You're going to want to make sure because this is the NRG Park is such a great place, and it's also very big, so there's plenty of space. Here it's about 350 acres, but you're right. Get you some boots, break them in, and come on. But we do have some things that we think are helpful. And again, goes back to our volunteers. Again, I mentioned the transportation committee. There's different places to park. They're on-site and off-site, and we always have trouble with parking because, again, we have so many people show up. So we definitely ask you to look at the different metro routes, and there's also some off-site parking that we will shuttle you in on. But the best thing to do, since all of us are carrying around a phone these days with us wherever we go, is download the Rodeo Houston app. It's new this year. And that app will really help with, it's got interactive maps on the grounds. It'll be the most up-to-date place to know where the traffic is and where's the parking available. And so the interactive map is going to be ready on the 22nd of February. But download the app as soon as you can because that's going to be the best way that you can get information in real time about parking and how to get on site. And then once you're on site, again, you've got your boots broken in, just soak it all in. Come early, as I've already mentioned, so you can get a chance to feel and see the whole thing.
Awesome. That's very helpful information. And we're so excited about the ways KSBJ and Vita Unida will be involved this year. Our DJs with the barbecue, cook-off, judging, goat milking, which should be some very fun photos in the making, being at the rodeo parade, and just some other ways that we're just looking forward to being a part of all of the festivities. So, Chris, tell our families, again, those who may be coming for the first time, what can they expect of this experience?
Well, again, if they haven't been before, you're gonna. When I go other places, and I say, people ask me what I do. It's hard for people to really understand and embrace. And so, if you've never been before, understand that it is just massive. There's over 700 square feet, I think, inside the center on the first floor. That's full of shopping, and that's of course where our livestock show is. So there's always animals and kids from all over, and from breeders from all over the state that are here to show their livestock. This is, quote, the Super Bowl of livestock shows, in addition to being the largest livestock show and rodeo. So you want to come and experience that. Obviously, as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of educational programs and things that you can participate in. One of the things that's really important to our mission is for us, and really the basis before that when we first got started, is how do we promote agriculture? How do we tell that food and fiber story? Because we want people to know where their food and fiber comes from. And so this is our chance to educate the public about it. So there's lots of different resources and experiences that folks can go through. Then, of course, you can go outside to the carnival. You can go to the arena and to the horse show. And did I mention, Kim, that you can also eat? There are so many foods here. And so I always tell people, leave your house on an empty stomach, and then you have to pace yourself here during the day because there's all kinds of unique foods to try. My wife's a dietitian. She's told me the calories do not count during the rodeo.
That's good to know.
So you're good there. And so there's mutton busting outside the kids can do. Plenty of activities for the kids. And then, of course, each night we have the world's largest rodeo that we end with a concert. And so there's Wine Garden presented by Frost Bank. There's just so many things that you could experience. Lots of places. We know how people are today. We've got plenty of selfie station spots and places where you can capture your experience and share it with your friends and family.
Wow. Well, that is absolutely amazing. I know one of the toughest decisions for me every year is what to eat. And I'll tell
So many
myself,
choices.
yeah, I go, no, try something different, really. Then I end up going back into the same spot. But
Yeah,
it's
that's
such
exactly
a
right.
wonderful, wonderful variety. Well, Chris, hats off, no pun intended, to you and your team just for the wonderful job you do year after year. Just when you think the rodeo can't get any better, it does. It does.
It does, Kim, and if it's okay, I'll tell you just a couple of new things for this year you can
Please.
experience.
Yes.
Last year we did the drone show a couple of times, and it was so popular that we're going to do the drone show. That's presented in partnership with ExxonMobil. We're so happy they've come on board. But each weekend we will do the drone show on the Saturday and Sunday evenings at 8 p.m. And it's an interactive. I have to tell you, last year when we said we were going to do it, I wasn't for sure. I knew what it was, but once you've seen it, you can Google it. It was viewed so many times last year. So this year we're going to do it again. It really does show the essence of Western heritage along with fireworks extravaganza. So that's each Saturday and Sunday evening. It's going to be over on top of NRG Arena. You can see it pretty much from around the grounds. We are also unveiling our inaugural class of the Rodeo Houston Hall of Fame. So we're super pumped about that.
Wow. Tell me about that.
Mike Servey, who's been our rodeo contractor forever, is going to be a part of that ceremony. Charmaine James, the winningest athlete in the history of the rodeo. She's a barrel racer, and so and then Bob Tallman, the voice of our rodeo for decades that we always recognize. So we're so excited. There's going to be a couple of different displays, one in NRG Center that'll be up year round, but then also in the stadium during the rodeo, you can go view it and learn about them. And so it's going to be a great time. I've mentioned already the website and the app. We also are unveiling some really cool and new merchandise with Rodeo logo, and so you can wear the brand all year round. So we're certainly pumped about that. There's lots of other stuff, but that's just a highlight.
Oh, those are some great highlights. So once again, tell us the best places to go to get information about if they just, want to know history and anything about the rodeo, and also if they want to know just real-time information about parking and all of the logistical details, where do they need to go?
Yeah, certainly go to the website, rodeohouston.com, and you can browse there and see a little bit about the history of our show and all the different things that will be offered during showtime. You can see that for sure. In the moment, though, when you're getting ready to leave and on your way, you definitely want to have that app downloaded. Whatever your app provider is, just type in Rodeo Houston. It'll come up. Again, that's the place where you will see the greatest and latest information. And then once you get here, you just put it in the hands of our volunteers. They'll greet you, they'll meet you, they can answer your questions. We've got plenty of people that'll be on site for directions and assistance and transportation. And so once you're here, they'll point you to the right way. Again, on the app, there'll be the interactive map too. So you want to have as many points that you have to be able to get to where you need to do. We also suggest that if you're going to buy rodeo tickets, that you want to download the Axis app or be signed up through Axis, AXS. They're our ticket partner. And so that way, we always tell folks that when they're getting ready to purchase tickets, make sure you have all that, your password updated and your ID, all those things in the world we live in today. We're just so thankful for all the community support. It's something we learned during our rough times of COVID, and it definitely resonated with, just want to be so thankful and appreciative of this community and all they do to support this show. This is a community event. We're so thankful for the partnership we have with folks like you guys and KSBJ and all the support that you give us. And of course, thanks to the volunteers that make it happen. So we're ready to rodeo if you are, Kim.
Wow, I am ready. Absolutely. I've been ready since last year. So I've been one of those people you talked about that's been waiting. So,
good deal.
But I appreciate that tip about the new boots. Go ahead and get them. So you're sending me shopping. I just want you to know that to buy a new pair.
And you should also purchase a pair while you're you're here so you can break them in over the next year. So it's all, you need more boots. I get that question all the time. How many pair of boots do you have, Chris? I have about 10 pair. And so you got to mix it up.
Can never have too many boots in Texas, right?
That's right.
Wow. Awesome. Well, we have certainly enjoyed our time with Chris Boleman, President, CEO of Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo. And we want to encourage you to go out and enjoy the rodeo. And so when you support the rodeo, you're supporting many wonderful causes that helps to just build our communities, especially our youth, with scholarships and various things to help further them along in their lives. And so we just want to encourage you, if you'd like to find out more information about the rodeo, maybe you're new to our city, go to rodeohouston.com. And within the next few days, you can go and make sure you download the Rodeo Houston app if you're headed that way with your family, just so that you can get all of the information that you need to smoothly navigate the grounds and make sure you are apprised to all of the wonderful amenities that are available. So again, thank you so much, Chris, for all that you and your team are doing to bring so much joy to our city. And our thoughts and prayers are certainly with you that this will once again be the best rodeo to date. Okay?
We'll do it. Thank you so much for the support. We appreciate it.
All right. And as always, thank you to our wonderful audience for joining us. And we hope you'll tune in again next week on another edition of Community Beat. I'm Kim Kasi McKee on 89.3 KSBJ.
Thanks for joining us for Community Beat with Kim Kasi McKee. Join us every Saturday morning at 5:30 on 89.3 KSBJ.